Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, assalamu alaikum, wherever you are joining us from for the first in the series of Mindworks International Generation Women Initiative. What is Generation Women? GENWOM, as you can see behind me. This is a mentoring program that we have structured out of years of experience, specifically focusing on mentoring young girls who are at any phase in their life or looking at ways in which they can get career counseling, get guidance on what areas of work should they be focusing on, how are you progressing ahead in your career as individuals, whether it is as a student, whether it is at when you're starting off on your professional journeys as professionals, and also what are some of the career opportunities that young girls, specifically from the South Asian community, should be looking at. This program is curated after a lot of, you can say, heart and soul, because along the way, in my 20 years of being a professional and 10 years of that being the founder and CEO of Mindworks International, I have met and interacted and trained and mentored many, many young girls. Either they're running their own businesses or they're looking at career opportunities, asking us again and again, what are some of the things that we need to consider? What is my next career move? How do I start off a particular career in a particular sector? So, this particular mentoring program, GenWOM, is a culmination of, is a starting point essentially of all of the learnings from the last many years, where we want to provide mentoring to young girls who would want to excel in their careers. All of you do, but to get that sort of right guidance from experts who are in their field and who can give you that hand holding is utmost important. So, what we've done is that we have a series of webinars as part of the GenWom mentoring program. This program is an ongoing running program where we have experts who have kindly volunteered to work with us. They are from all across the globe. You'd be seeing one of them today here with me, who is doing fantastic in her career, and it's all about learning from these mentors as to how their careers have been. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to our first speaker in the first episode. That's Miss Hubba Mubeen, and she has had a fantastic experience, and she's working in a sector which most of you would think is mainly might be a little bit male dominated, but she has been excelling and she's been working in leading organizations within the textile industry. And if I were to give you a few names, you could say Barize and Elan. She's working, designing practical solutions. She's part of their HR team. And I would want to hear more from Huba as to how you can navigate a career in the corporate world. So, welcome, Huba. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Noor, and thank you for the introduction as well. And yeah, so I'll just give a little bit about myself. I'm an HR professional. I've been in the field for around 6 to 7 years, and mostly, as Noor mentioned, it's been textile. So it's both the retail end plus the export end as well. Like some of the names like Elan, Barize, I'm currently associated with them, and plus export site like Style Textile and all of that, one of the largest exporters of Pakistan in textile. I work there as well. So mainly as an HR professional, we are dealing with many things at a time. It's not just the things like people think it's only like hiring people, paying them salaries. It's not only like that. It's quite intricate. We have multiple departments here, gauging their performances, providing them training, and taking out the best out of those people who we are getting on board, and polishing their skills, aligning them with the goals of the company. Right. So we have many intricacies, and here also I'm very excited to be a part of Gen Women, and what Noor is doing is commendable, like providing mentorship to potential leaders of the future who might like need some like basic training of how to enter the industry and what should they look forward to, and be prepared of all the challenges that they might face in the future, right?
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so in the past years, women have really shown up in the corporate world and made their own mark. They found their like place on the table, which was mostly like men ruling the corporate side, and now women have their own significant presence over there. And yeah, so. Basically, there were a lot of myths attached to the corporate side, like people who usually the professions that were associated with women were teaching or like doctors or stuff like that, but they've quite expanded their horizon during the years as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. So Huba, let me ask you the first question that I have here. In terms of, a lot of young graduates, I know that, the final year of university is where a lot of young girls would be like, how are we navigating our careers? Where do we find internship opportunities? So, in your experience as an HR professional, you are hiring individuals who are fresh graduates, who are experienced as well. How can somebody who is just out of university start looking for these opportunities? What is it that HR professionals are actually looking on, when
Mhm.
you're onboarding somebody? What are you looking on their resumes? Is it just academic performance that you're looking, or how is actually the recruitment process? It has evolved over the years, and what is it that HR professionals are looking these days?
Right. So no, basically when fresh grads, even if you are like coming for the corporate side or you want to start your own business or entrepreneurship, all of that. So from fresh grads, we don't expect much, but their clarity and thoughts that they have with their profession and where they want to be. Right. So apart from their academic the qualifications and all of that, whatever they've achieved, how much they've participated in different groups and all of that, how active they've been throughout their degree and different programs. Apart from that, when we interact with a fresh grad, we just look at their confidence and how the willingness to grow, to learn, and how much they're looking forward to that position, right? And how
Yeah,
confident they are
yeah,
what they're pursuing. So it's not like if you don't have clarity with your thoughts, and like if you're not sure that if I want to be here or not, and that reflects in your interview, and it reflects in the way you talk. So just have clarity in your thoughts, be confident about like what profession you want to choose, what line you want to choose, what interest do you have in those things. And as we are in a very like well informed society now, so you have access to everything. You can get the information of the company, their history, and how they've been performing during the years and all of that. So when you go prepared, and when you
yeah.
know what the company is about and how they've been functioning throughout, so that leaves an impact that you are like equipped with the things that you need to stand out from the rest of the candidates.
Yeah, that's wonderful, right? So, like, and we have heard this on and on again, and I'm sure you're also telling this to a lot of young children. We tell it a lot to young children that, what is it that you are doing out of the university? What is your extracurricular look like? What is your, like you're saying, what is your focus and what is your growth plan as well? The other thing is a lot that, in terms of interviews. So when we are talking about, I know for a fact that corporate interviews are supposed to be in a certain way. You're supposed to, do the interview a certain way. There are going to be some standard questions that are going to be asked to you. And the most favorite one is, and I ask that a lot as well, that, are you a team player or are you
Hmm.
comfortable working individually? How do you navigate? How do we answer that question? How do the young kids answer that question? What is the right way to answer that?
Right. So basically, we have multiple rounds on the corporate side. We have technical plus personality rounds, plus if it's related to something like a technical thing like engineering or something, we have initial some that question and answer sessions as well on
Yeah,
some MCQs rounds, some papers, and all of that.
yeah,
So apart from that, when someone asks you about your apps, firstly we start with just tell us about yourself, right?
yeah.
On those things we draw other questions, like they tell us about their journey, what they've done throughout, and try to keep it as interesting as possible. If you're just
Hmm.
going to tell us that where did you study or what did you do in your college, so that will not be
Oops, I think there is a little bit lag, Hoba. Do we have you online? I think there is some internet trouble that I see from Hoba's end. Let's see if we can, if we just wait for a little bit and see if we can get Hubba back. I think there is a little lag. Let's try to see. Yep. No, we lost her. It's okay. We're going to continue on that thought. We're going to just give it a couple of more minutes and then we shall be back. So, just building up on, that same instant, that what is the right process to land an interview? What are some of the answers that you're asking? While we're waiting for Huba to come back, let me tell you guys again and build up on that conversation that Huba is doing about the GenWOM program. When you are investing in yourself, when you are looking at ways in which you could be a part of the bigger ecosystem, no matter which sector you are going to apply on. We're talking about the corporate sector today, but a lot of kids are interested in a career with international multinationals. They're interested in careers with NGO sector, with the donor sector. How can we go into social development side? How can we work with international corporations and brand? So essentially, the GenWOM program is also developed to give you insights and get you to do a one-on-one mentoring session with these mentors. If you want to know more about the program, if you just hop onto the website, Mindworks International slash GenWom, you'd be able to see that the whole 6 weeks journey, it's a fellowship program. We take you through the entire process where you are going to, get to explore who you are as individuals. What are your own career aspirations? Where do you see yourself 5, 10 years from now? Take those reflections and then start building up on the elements that Hoba was also talking about, and other mentors are also going to talk about. You're going to learn how you can become more professionally aligned with your goals. So, if you're going for interviews, your resume looks great, yes, but when you're going for interviews, where are you building up that confidence, and how is that confidence actually reflecting into the work that you're going to do? That's one. The second one is that a lot of times when you will speak to some international mentors that we have a part of this particular fellowship, you would get that things are very different when you are looking at out of Pakistan context and when you are looking at the context in their own regions. We have mentors from Africa, mentors from Italy, we have mentors from US, UK, all of them looking at and telling you and showing you guidance on how you should look at yourself as an international puzzle piece. So if you're looking at a career opportunity outside of Pakistan, whether that's academic, whether that's professional, you have to, localize the context and see how things would work for you in that particular context. This is a program. It's going to be in terms of the number of hours you're bringing to in a week. Roughly takes about 2 to 4 weeks of your 2 to 4 hours per week of your time, and you can then explore this. So we have Huba back after the internet, so I'm going to put her back on the stage and continue that thought. Oops, a little
Sorry
bit
for
internet
that.
connection.
There was a little glitch. I'm sorry for that.
No worries. So I built up on what you were saying, Huba, in terms of, allowing the candidates who are coming to come prepared. How can they build up on the factors that you are telling, that you were telling, that they have to be confident, yes, but then they have to look at their growth plans as well. In terms of about career moves, so a lot of times we say that when you're coming in from, let's say, it's a myth, and that's another myth, that if you're coming in from a business school, then the right time is that you spend 2 years with an organization and then you start exploring other opportunities. So in your experience as an HR professional, what do you advise, what do you suggest? When do career moves, when should they take place?
See, in the beginning, I would suggest not to run after titles and not to run after salaries, which is the convention way of approaching a job. Like if it's paying you well, this and that. But in the beginning, I feel you do have the margin to like stay back in a position where you can learn more. Right? In a big organization, if you're a small part of a big organization, you're going to learn a lot. depends on your openness to learning and all of that. So just stay there, learn for at least like 2 to 3 years, get your foundation right, get your concepts right. Because see, the reality is different from what we read in books or at the university level. We have some other approach, but once you get into the corporate side, into the real world, things are different. Handling people, all of that, you need to have that people quotient as well. Your technical skills might be like really strong and all of that, but functioning in a department, functioning in a big organization teaches you a lot of things. So when you think you're prepared, you've learned, you've moved in, like you, if you at one point came in as an MT or as an intern and you've gotten a promotion as well, it means you have learned something significantly. So give
Yeah.
yourself time. There's no rush. If you're just out of the university, at least give 2 to 3 years in like a good organization.
Yeah, and I love what you have said that, if you are a small part of a big organization, that's exactly what I tell, all of the kids that, if you are a small fish in a big pond, then that's a good
Yes.
strategy because then you get to learn. But Huba, personally, so you've been a professional for many years. Personally, how has your own journey evolved? Have you found great mentors along the way, and have you learned from them and observed how they have worked, and has what kind of impact has it had on you?
Yeah, definitely. Mentorship is very important to have like a smooth career and to like someone who's there for you, who's there to answer your questions and all of that, which is very like critical in the beginning, right? So getting good managers, good line managers, and not even like apart from your teams as well, if there's seniors who are there to guide you, who are there to like explain you what's going on, because in the beginning you don't really understand, like things are coming from like left, right, center, so you're not able to like cope up with them. But
Yeah.
definitely if there are facilitators, if there are people around you who like really help you grow and who are there for you all the time, so it definitely does make a difference and
Yeah.
makes your journey much smoother. Yeah.
And I guess it's also a very cultural thing that somehow I feel that in Pakistan we a, a lot of us also shy away when we have to
Yeah.
ask somebody for help,
Yes.
right?
Definitely.
So generally as a nation we'd be very reluctant to ask someone for help, and that's another thing that we want to debunk, that when we reach out to all of the mentors who are on board, you guys, they were all like, we want to give back and we want to have like a space where we could get a couple of mentors on board with us and do one-on-one sessions with them, along
Mm-hmm.
with taking the coaching, mentoring basics along the way. So just a final note ever on that, any piece of advice that you would want to give, just navigating a corporate world. We will have more sessions, but just for today, any piece of advice that you would want to give anybody who is still at uni or maybe still at even the college level, and they're stuck about their career choices, what advice would you want to give to them?
Yeah, no, it's a very good point that we do have young people coming on board and hesitating to like ask what they actually like having, they're having issues or having problems with something. They don't come up until and unless we identify that gap and we address it by ourselves, right? So always be open to like feedback, constructive feedback, either good or bad. Whatever experience you're getting, it's like adding up to what you're meant to be. So it's a
Yeah.
part of your journey. Like even if you find someone like your line manager not that open to a conversation, but you should have that learning quotient in yourself that I want to achieve something, I want to add something to my portfolio. So it's crucial for me to be like open to asking questions and getting their feedback, right?
Yeah.
So it can be rough sometimes, it can be smooth sometimes. So yeah, be prepared. And yeah, if you have your approaches right, if you're clear about your thoughts, then nothing is difficult in the corporate world as well.
Absolutely. And on that note, if you guys want to know more and want to fix up a session with Huba, this is the place where you would want to go. You can read more about her experience, you can enroll onto the program, and you can have the possibility of doing a one-on-one, an exclusive one-on-one with Huba. She can tell you all about working with big brands that she's working with. How do you navigate your career opportunities? And this is your chance essentially to look at ways in which you can be a part of the GenWom community. Trust me, every fellow, every intern, every person who comes to any of our programs sticks with us for a really, really long time, and they want to know what else is coming up. So, thank you so much for being here. I know you're a part of our mentors team, and we are so happy and so proud to have you. And I'm sure, inshallah, we'll have a lots of kids reach out to you. Maybe if not in this particular phase, but in the next phase, which will follow very soon. So, thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much. Thank you
Stay
for
tuned.
having me.
Yeah, thank you. Stay tuned, everybody. This is the link where you could go on, hop on, learn more about every mentor, how to enroll to the program, and hopefully we'll see you kick off this program. It's starting off in November, really, really soon. So we'll be able to see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.